I'm Helen, and I do a lot of the customer service for Miss Babs, so if you've ever talked with anyone on the phone, you've probably talked with me. The main thing that I talk about with our customers is yarn, and the first step to using any of our skeins is to open it up. Most of our skeins, all of our skeins, have paper tags, and so you'll need to take the paper out before you can start winding it. You can either rip the paper here, or you can pull it open with the staple, which will preserve the integrity of the tag and provide information like the yardage and weight, the recommended knitting and crochet gauge, and the recommended care. So that's my normal way to do it. To do that, you'll want to pinch the back of the tag here and pull up on the flap where we've handwritten the name of the colorway. That will open up the staple, and you can pull it out without damaging the tag. I usually pull out the staple itself because if I'm keeping the tag, I don't want the staple to harm the yarn later on. Once the tag is open, you'll need to pull it out of the skein. And just like we can get paper cuts, yarn can also get a paper cut. So I usually open up this crossed area a little bit here with my left hand and slide the skein out with my right hand, which minimizes that possibility. The next step is to find where the yarn is tied and clasp it there so that you can open the skein out to its full 2-yard circumference, like that. You can see there's a bit of cross going on here, so we'll just pull that out and have a nice skein. You'll want to check next to make sure that the yarn is all going in the proper direction and not crossing the tie anywhere. If you do sometimes see a few strands crossing, it's pretty easy to pick up on in this step, and this will save you a big headache later on when you're winding. So you'll want to cross those back over so that you can follow the entire skein, the entire tie around the skein without anything interrupting it. Then you'll want to snap the skein a few times to align the strands. Yarn is pretty sturdy, so you don't really have to be gentle here. Give it a few good snaps, and that will really help you. There are a couple of different ways that you can get the yarn from here. You can have it held on someone's hand if you've got someone willing to stand like this for half an hour while you wind it. You can also put it around the back of a chair or over your knees or around a bin. The main thing here is to make sure that it's open and not going to tangle as you make it into a ball from which you can knit. Our favorite method is the Swift because it's the most versatile, and so that's what we'll be using here. You can find Swifts pretty much anywhere online, and we'll have a link down below to our favorite Swifts. To put the yarn on the Swift, you just slip it over the top, and sometimes you'll get a few strands that come inside the Swift. It's very easy here to pull those to the outside before you tighten the Swift. It's a little bit more difficult once the Swift is fully open. You want to tighten the Swift down so that the yarn can still spin freely, but so that the yarn is stretched out, because you do want to keep that tension on the yarn when you're twisting it. The next step is to open the skein itself. This is a self-tied skein, and so the skein is wrapped around itself and tied here. I like to preserve the most possible yarn for my knitting, so I usually slip my finger under the tie and just cut one end there, which preserves the yarn for later use. Then you'll need to carefully unwrap the tie from around the skein, and here you can see that it's crossing behind, so in order to make it easier to wind, I'm going to pull it to the outside. Usually you'll find that one end or the other is going to unwind more freely, and that's the end you'll want to start from. We have several different ways of tying our yarn with a video for each. We have self-tied skeins, figure 8 skeins, toes, which are a little bit different, and larger yardage skeins, which take more attention while you're winding them. So you can find the video that's right for your skein and watch how we recommend winding it.